obviously if you put this little bolt catch right in first, then you put the gearbox in on top of that, it's then going to be on top of, okay, so potentially when you the magazine flips, it won't actually move that out, you see, so, and you won't be able to then push this to push that down to then operate it. Let's hope I get that the right way around. Oh, is any of this in front of the camera? Oh, God's sake. So it comes out. It's not just an ordinary one, it's obviously got the little latch on there for pivoting. Come on out anytime you like, keep coming out. Come on, bloody annoying is this? Thank you. Righty, so I'll do some more of this in front of the camera. As you can see, redesigned selector plate. And the cut-off switch here is at the back now. I'll show you the rest. This is the latch system there. You'll be careful when you're taking this bit off here, because there's a little spring on the side. You have to make sure that obviously when that pings out, you catch it. So you can see the ridiculously long nozzle there with obviously the twist, which shouldn't be there, so we'll get rid of that. Yeah, obviously this is firing, then the magazine is out, and then see this bit here, then pushes that up in there on the tappet plate, which then stops and locks the gun from firing. And then in order to, which then, see, has this, so because you put this on top of, as it then, magazine pushes it up, which then moves that magazine out, and then obviously when you want to obviously reuse the gun, you then push this in, that pushes that down. That's when you hear the little click because it comes out of the tappet plate. So you have to make sure when you reassemble this, it's gearbox in, okay, and as the gearbox goes in, you have to kind of put this in at the same time to kind of make sure that this goes in between over the gearbox, okay, and not underneath it, okay, because underneath it it's not going to operate anything. So I'll show you the only fiddly bit of doing this gearbox, otherwise it's pure bliss. See, obviously the spring is already out, you can see the piston in there, so there's going to be no annoying version 2 screwdriver in the back to stop it pinging out and taking someone's eye out. You have to take the bolt catch locking assembly thing off because there's a hidden screw underneath it. We'll try and retrieve this from flying away. There it is, little spring. don't know for future reference guys, but if I show you the order here, if you know what I mean, these things for when you're reassembling it to make sure you get it back in the right way. You've got the one that goes on the top. It's like the days before they named gears. The one that goes on the top. The next one, which goes in the tab plate. And then the other one, just the third one. He's locked in there, so we'll take him out when we undo the thing. But basically, just make sure that they're in that sort of the correct direction, correct order, so they operate pretty easy. So I really, when I first time I did it, I really didn't pay attention, but it went back together pretty easy. So you got a Phillips screw under here because it had to be flat, and then we got Torque screws for the rest of them, and whatever the hell this one is, I'm going to read off the side to save you some trouble. It is a T10 bit, which is pretty standard because I don't usually change this one. Watch the pure bliss of working on this gearbox. 2, 3, 4. Obviously we've already taken out the 5th one. I like to remember the order of these things. I put them in a line. It's already changed the bushings, which were actually black ones as opposed to the normal TM white. So whether they changed something there, made them a bit harder, I don't know. But yeah, he's changed them to the same as mine actually in my gun. So the Prometheus 6mm bearings. I know the bearings are, some people don't like them and stuff like that because they tend to fail and stuff, but you've got to be really careful when you're actually inserting the bearings. And I do believe that people put the uneven pressure on the bearings when they're, because obviously you have to hammer them in, and that potentially causes a little bit of damage to the bearings, therefore they fail. So yeah, so I went for them. I mean, just on the safe side, I went for the Prometheus ones. Obviously they're going to be a fairly good quality there. So plus the extra rectifier, because obviously it's not the best rectifier in the world on the standard battery, so I thought every little bit I could get is going to be useful. So how about you go down and you pretty snug, these bad boys, aren't they?